Our goal with the Pro 5 Baseball Academy is to help these players prepare to have success on and off the field at the next level. That's our whole goal, is to create a mentoring environment for them so that when they step on campus at the next level or in a professional environment, they feel ready to tackle the challenges ahead. And we try and set that mentoring culture first through the staff. We have a group of professional coaches, many of them with great experience on the field, but they really care about the person more than the player, and they really want to take care of them and guide them properly and guide them well. And we also focus on 5 areas of development. The first for us is leadership and character development. We do that through service projects. We have a lot of MLB guest coaches zoom in and talk about life lessons from the game with the guys. Second is a professional baseball program. So come out here, a lot of the practice sessions are run like you would in spring training or in a college environment. And also a lot of high-level competition, a lot of the games versus college-age players and top baseball academies around the country. Thirdly is strength and athletic development. Diamond Fit manages that for us, and they do a great job with strength and speed and mobility and health and nutrition. Fourth is academic support, and then fifth is competition. We want to prepare these players to compete the right way and get them ready for what lies ahead. It's been incredible to look back over the players and the alumni that have come through the program and see them impact the game at the next level, not just on the field, but in the community, in the clubhouse. And we're excited about the next group of players coming in. Each year gets more and more exciting.
Welcome to the podcast from the Swamp
at Baseball Park, Weiersburg, Germany.
Brought to you by the Solingen Alligators Baseball Club,
Smashing runs since 1991. Dive into Alligators Alley with your hosts Max Michalk and Bruno Römer
as we bring you face to face with the legends of the game.
Former MLB players, active coaches, and many more to come.
It's all right here, folks.
Let's play ball. So hello and welcome to the Swamp, live from the Baseball Weiersburg, Germany. Today we got a special thing for you. We got not one guy, we got 2 legends of the game here with us today. Welcome Andy Berglund and Eric Sogard. Thank you for being here and having us.
Vielen Dank, Jungs. Vielen Dank.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to ask. If you can introduce yourself in German, maybe.
I can. Ich bin Andy Berglund. Ich bin, let's see, von 14 Jahren. Ich bin ein Trainer aus Deutschland, aus everywhere. Let's put it that way. So that's about as all as I'm going to say. But I lived over in Germany for a couple years, so I picked up some stuff. It's easy for me to understand it, but to speak it, no. I'm not as smart as Eric is.
No
Eric,
German.
how's your German? You all right?
No German on my side, sorry. But no.
Is there any Czech? Any Czech?
Even Czech. No, even Czech, man. Like, ahoy, jak se máš? How are you? Like, that's all I got. I mean, my mom was born in Czech Republic and speaks it fluently with her parents, but never passed it along. I know it's a challenging language, I hear. I know ball players who have moved out there for 10 years now, married women out there, and they still can't do it. So maybe one day I'll continue to work, but happy to be on the field beside them, regardless.
Yeah, in Germany we say German language is a difficult language. Eric, let's start off with you. You had an MLB career with several teams. What's the most outstanding time in the majors for you? What was it?
Oh man, that's a tough question because any time in the major leagues is just a dream to be there. I was blessed to be able to be part of 12 seasons up there with 5 different teams, and just the amount of players that I met and learned along the way, just incredible people, incredible coaches, just an incredible life experience. So I'm certainly grateful for everything that I was able to experience there and be a part of. I think I was a part of 5 playoff teams as well. And just to get in that atmosphere, just times I'll never forget. So obviously being part of the academy now and working a little more with the youth, just more than happy to give back what I experienced, what I learned, and hope that they can, make their dreams as well.
That's great. Do you remember the very first time you hit the ground of a major league field?
Absolutely. I'll never forget my big league call up. I got called up. We were in Kansas City playing the Royals. My first at bat was against Zach Greinke. I remember coming up, announcing it was my debut, and he kind of looked back at the scoreboard like who is this kid? And I could barely feel my body. I was so nervous. Ended up not even taking a swing that at bat, but ended up working a full count walk somehow.
At least.
Yeah, exactly. But then actually was able to get my first big league hit later that night. So again, it's such a incredible experience to be there for the first time and just, see all that hard work that's gone in throughout your life and all the people that have helped you along the way and, be able to celebrate that with them.
All right, cool. Max, you still there? I think he's gone. I think the connection broke down. I will continue with Andy. Tell us a little bit your path as a player and your experience you shaped, or what shaped you the most to get into coaching.
For me, my path took all sorts of twists and turns to get to where I am now, which is I'm currently a scout for the Milwaukee Brewers. I've been doing that for 8 years. And Sogard knows this. I've been referencing only as the first place Milwaukee Brewers to everybody, so everybody knows. But I've been with that organization for 8 years, and I'm really fortunate to work with their AAA team here in Nashville, the Nashville Sounds. I see a lot of the guys that are coming back and forth from the big leagues. And then Eric and I are really blessed to be involved with this Pro 5 Nashville Academy that we're super motivated and loving to do and giving back. All the stuff he learned in the big leagues, all the stuff that I learned playing and coaching internationally. So, I mean, it led to this point kind of through all my playing career, actually kind of ending earlier than I had hoped. I got injured in high school, got injured in college, got injured overseas. So all these injuries kind of piled up and I didn't get as far as I wanted to. So I made it a mission to try to get as far as I could on the coaching and the scouting and the development ranks. So it started after college overseas, where next thing I knew, I was in Germany, in the UK, and played a little bit in Australia, finished some baseball season in Sweden, and then I started working for Major League Baseball for a long period of time, and then that snowballed into coaching in the Czech Republic, which ironically I coached Eric's brother in the Classic, which is great. Back in 2012 in Regensburg. And then I went from the Czech Republic to France and Belgium, coached with the South Africans. So I've been all over the world because of the game and just this consistent hunger to want to be involved with it and just keep growing. And now, like he's probably mentioned, we're just giving it back now. And it almost feels better to do it that way because you have so much wisdom from what you went through. Now we're giving it back. So it's been a wild ride, and I'm loving every minute of it.
Yeah, as we talked before the recording, Andy, Max, and me, we got met each other before during baseball, because you were the trainer, the coach of the selection teams, right?
Yeah, I did that for MLB. I also did a lot of MLB envoy work. By the way, you guys look fantastic shape. Like in the last 20 years, you could tell you haven't been drinking any beers. Like Max looks as fast as he ever was.
Did you say fast or fat? Because both fits.
Schnitzel, nothing. There's like just a little bit of facial hair. There's nothing has changed. You boys look the same. Should be on the national team.
Yeah, probably.
National team in beer drinking, maybe, but not in baseball.
Just to wrap it up, to give Max some time. I think he had some issues with the technique. Tell us a little bit about baseball, or what is it? The thing behind you, Eric. It's I have the name right now.
Yeah.
What is it?
Pro 5 Baseball Academy.
Pro 5 Baseball. Tell us something about that.
Yeah, absolutely. Pro 5 Baseball originated in North Carolina with Mike Griffin, who's done quite a bit of international coaching as well. It's basically a elite baseball academy tailored towards high school players who really want to get to that next level. And basically, they join the academy, they do online schooling, and then they are put through a training program that's very similar to what they're going to receive in college or professional baseball. So they're training 5 days a week, have incredible staff. All of our staff is former MLB players or college players or scouts. So some of the best staff you're going to have throughout our country. And, you know, they train as they would at the next level and have a strength and conditioning program on top of that as well. So these guys are serious about the game, and, you know, we're excited to be able to help them in any way we can to hopefully experience that next level. So it's been a great program. This is our second year getting going in Nashville, and I think last year we even had 10 international players as well, from all over Europe. We had players from Japan, Canada. So it's really a cool program to bring players from all over the world and allow them to get better in the same space.
Yeah, awesome, exciting, nice.
It's awesome. You guys can hear me, right?
Yes.
Oh, awesome. My phone just got heated. Like, it was too hot. I never had that in like 10 years. That's crazy.
Hits a fry. Hits a fry.
It's Andy's
Yeah.
picture on there, heating it up.
Yeah, like just to piggyback on what Eric said, like, so we had international guys coming. We got a player from Denmark and Japan coming in the fall, possibly a couple more guys from the Czech. And then in the spring, we'll have more. And then we still are like, I want to have German players that are interested, that want to get a taste of American baseball in the spring and be a part of this academy and all the professionalism that we have. Like, that's still the goal. Cause like my time in Germany was fantastic. Like in Regensburg, I was in Mainz, I was all over the country. So like, we're trying to figure out like if there's players out there like yourselves when you guys were young that was like, man, I'd love to try to do something like this.
Mhm.
We're always on the lookout for that 5 to 6'2" player that doesn't matter where they come from. If they can have a dream and chase it, like, why not chase it here in America and like try to help them out best we can.
So is there any way for baseball players from Germany to reach out to you guys to maybe spark some interest?
Yeah, 100%. Like if you go to the Pro5, www.pro5baseball.com, if you go on the Instagram pages, like you can apply straight off the bat and just kind of get a response from our staff. And then we start to dive into who you are and talk to your coaches, talk to your parents. And then we try to figure out if there's a plan that could work for you to come in the fall or the spring or both. So absolutely, we're trying to get more German players here, because every time I've been around German players, like there's a strong work ethic. The country's growing in the sport, and so we're trying harder and harder to get more of those type of leaders and characters into our academy.
Is there an age limit where you say that those guys are too old, or me with 31, I'm just starting my knuckleball career? Is there a chance for me? I got 7
Eric,
tools
let's
as
go
well.
answer that. Like you can answer the knuckleball question too. Who's the best knuckle? Did you face R.A. Dickey?
And Wakefield. Both.
Yeah, and Wakefield. That's awesome. What do you think about like who joins Pro 5? Like just who do we have coming here?
Yeah, so we're obviously tailored toward that high school age, but we also accept players that are a year out of high school before they, you know, go into that college atmosphere. So we call that a little gap year. So those 19-year-olds, we had a couple from Sweden last year, and you know, it gives these guys the opportunity to come down here and get the exposure they need for colleges. I think we had 3 French players come down for just 2 months last year, and they, you know, joined us, trained throughout our competition, were able to get the exposure they needed, and now have a college opportunity here. So they signed down here, a couple schools in Tennessee, and now they're playing at that next level. And that's the biggest thing we want. We want these players to have that opportunity to go that next level. Obviously, everyone wants to play at that big Division I college and get into minor league ball, but just having an opportunity anywhere is a potential to get you seen and get to that next level. So that's our goal, is to allow these kids to play as long as they can and enjoy this great game and learn the many life lessons that it gives.
That's great. Thank you. I mean, if I'm in the position to say it, but thanks to you guys to develop baseball all over the world. It's quite a nice thing. I think I fell in love with baseball when I was like 6 years old. I always played in Germany. I've been to Tokyo for some weeks to play there, and I traveled the world a little bit with baseball, and I think it's such a great thing. It's a great baseball family, and yeah, everybody is quite involved. It's quite nice.
Absolutely.
And that's it. Like you said, Europe is a continent that baseball or the MLB tries to do a lot of stuff, but it's like they haven't seen every raw diamond that we got. Like when I did the research for this interview, I found out that you, Andy, had a big role in signing Yannick Walter for the Milwaukee Brewers. And I personally, I know that guy when he was 6 years or 7 years old, being in Solingen for a summer camp, and now that guy had a at bat in Major League Spring Training. So that's awesome. I love that. And we're very thankful here in Germany for guys like you, or like in Europe at all. You guys coming over, or Eric playing for the Czech national team. We have to come to that pretty soon because I got a lot of questions about that. Because when I saw that, now we come to that right now. Well, when I saw that Eric Sogard is playing for the Czech national team, I was like, wait, what? That guy from the Oakland A's? What is he doing in Czech? So tell us a little bit about how the hell did you come to play for the Czech national team?
Yeah, so I mean, obviously, I've had ties. My mom was born there, so I always knew of the Czech descent. But I didn't know that baseball really existed out there, honestly. And then my brother, got the opportunity to go play for a couple qualifiers for Andy and Mike Griffin as well. And I was never able to do it with my schedule, with my big league schedule. And then finally, after I retired, I got the opportunity to join these guys and really see what international ball was like. And I absolutely fell in love because it's played for the love of the game. Sometimes at the major league level, there can be a lot of business involved, and you kind of see the background side of it, and it kind of takes away from the game itself at times. But joining these guys and their work ethic and why they're playing, I mean, all these guys just have normal daily jobs, and then they're practicing after their jobs and getting together on weekends. And to see the talent that was actually there, being able to compete with some of the best in the world was absolutely so impressive. So I think the biggest thing I want to do and help is get that exposure, to all of Europe. I mean, if you're able to reach out to the youth and they get involved in the game and are interested and they want to work on it, that's when you're going to have these players that really, start to come out and hopefully have that opportunity to play at the pro level. And the more players that do that are being brought over and get opportunities in the minor leagues, more scouting is going to look out there. So that's kind of our goal in the sense, is just to try and create that environment where the youth, enjoy and love the game and just grow it in any way.
Yeah. Did you guys follow the U23 European Championship in Tribich this year?
I did. Yeah, I was following it just because, like any international tournament, I always tune into if I can't be there in person. So I watched, Great Britain take out the Czech Republic in Tribich. Yeah, I definitely did. Yep.
Yeah, I was pretty impressed by Great Britain, I must say. But nevertheless, I think the quality of baseball which was playing is quite equal. I mean, there was just little things, little arrows that decides the ball game, and it was pretty impressive. I loved watching the whole tournament.
I think as a whole, like European baseball has grown tremendously. Like my first experience in Europe was like 2001, 2002. So it goes back a long, long ways. And at the start of that experience, like it was only a few academies that MLB was involved with and supported. Regensburg, Paderborn in Germany. There was one in Holland. There was one in Italy. And then it started to grow and grow and grow. And then you had, even within Germany, the DBA, like there's all these different academies to improve players. And then more and more players started to get to colleges or get signed. Like obviously from Germany, Max Kepler going from Berlin and then all the way to the big leagues was a huge boost for the country of Germany. Even in your club, Solingen, like Kai Gronauer was signed at 16 or 17 with the Mets. You mentioned Yannick Walter with us in the Brewers, and now he's in A-ball. So all these things I think helped layer the reasons why European baseball has gotten to where it is. And I mean, Eric's playing for probably one of the most organized professional countries right now in baseball that keeps going up the rankings and plays against teams in Asia and did well in Japan and is going back to the classic. And it's just this continuous climb of really good baseball. And that's what you saw the under 23s. There's better coaches, there's better structure. More of those guys are going to college and coming back or getting signed. So all of that, I think, helps the under 18s, the under 23s, the seniors. And then now we're able to even scout under 15s European championships and find the next Yannick Walter and the next Kai Gronauer. So it's been like 20 years of really good development. And then you put the MLB London games in there, for example, so more fans are aware of the big league clubs, and like you can go watch it in London and maybe one day in Germany as well. So there's this continuous progress, I think, that's going to keep happening in Europe, and that's a good thing.
Yeah, it is.
So what would you say is the biggest difference between a player who plays in the under 15 in America and in Europe? Like where do you see the biggest difference? That's a hard
Eric,
question, I know.
like, have you seen? I mean, he also has a young son playing, so like he's kind of getting into that age group. But you want to take that?
Yeah, I mean, I think you'd be able to touch better on the scouting side, but I think baseball is so huge here, especially at the youth level. These kids are training, like professionals already, and it's kind of crazy. Like it almost has to be tailored a little more towards strictly the development side than these trying to put what these kids are doing just same as a major leaguer, right? But like they are receiving some serious instruction and playing some serious competition from age 6 and 7 and playing over 50 games a year round. So they are definitely exposed to a lot of baseball early. I think in turn, there are some more injuries you're seeing because our philosophy, especially here at Pro 5, is build an athlete. We kind of go against the travel ball world where we don't want these kids playing 60 plus games a year. We want to develop them, help them understand the game, help them grow their bodies, and for that future development, for that long run. So much of it is structured on the now as an 8-year-old going to win a tournament, and now the coach wants to win so bad that he had his 8-year-old throw 90 pitches, 100 pitches, and it's just not worth it. So that's kind of our goal with this Pro 5 Academy, is to really kind of hopefully make an outreach in the community of developing these players in the long run. And I think that's probably the likely largest difference from here to Europe, is these kids are exposed to it so much earlier and with proper coaching, in a sense that their knowledge for the game is built at such young ages and they continue to progress. I think that's one thing I remember my brother talking about when he went over there over 10 years ago early on, was just the knowledge of the game wasn't quite there compared to here in the States. Passion was there, the work ethic was there, maybe even more so than here, honestly. But I think it was that knowledge and understanding of the depths within the game.
I was just to wrap it up with your sentence. I was also at the U15 European Championship this year in Trieste in Italy, but Germany won the championship.
Let's go.
Good.
And I was mind blasted, dude, when I saw Dodger Friedrich. If he's a name for you, I think so, Andy. I was mind blasted when I saw these 14 years old kid throwing 90 miles per hour on a big diamond, and I was like, what the fuck? Like, what is going on there, man?
That's my job. I gotta find these guys. There's diamonds in the rough, right? There's a kid that's in the Little League World Series, I think, from Mexico, that's like touching 80 at 12, and he's got incredible Shohei Ohtani mechanics already. So, like Eric's saying, if you're smart about it and you're monitoring this, and he's getting the right coaches, and he's letting the growth plates finish so that by the time he's older, he's healthy to to keep throwing and keep playing. You have the potential of some of these young guys to start making 105 and 110 miles an hour to be like the new norm of some of these guys. So that's what I think Eric touched on, is like the technology's better, the coaching's better. There's kids all over the world that are figuring out some of this stuff, and if they're in a good environment, then it's incredible what you're seeing these days. And I think we're fortunate because we get to be around 2 academies. Like a lot of the guys that are in our academies are throwing in the 90s, and like that was unheard of 10, 15 years ago, like all over. And now it's become more and more normal, and that helps grow the game so that they can go into the professional level. So you're right, man. It's fun to watch, man. I was fortunate, like when Jacob Mizorowski was pitching AAA for the Brewers a couple months ago, I'd go and be in the dugout, watch him throw, and my eyes are, I like the term mind blasted. We don't say mind blasted, we say, but I might start using that. I love that. I was just also mind
That's a
blasted. I was like, this
typical
guy.
Bruno expression.
Mind
We say
blowing.
mind blown, but mind blasted, Sogi, maybe we start using
Like
that more.
mind
What do you think?
blasted. I
It's
mean,
like mind blasted.
Hey, Bruno, we have to get T-shirts that
But
say
it
that.
is. It's like you post, like we're fortunate to see that post as coaches and players, and Eric's faced guys in the big leagues over and over and over again, throwing 95 to 100 or faster. And it's, like, you might want to even talk about that. Like, how do you, like, is that why you wore the glasses all the time? Is it because that you needed to see it? Who's the fastest guy you ever faced? You remember?
probably Aroldis Chapman.
You saw him?
Yeah, I faced him throwing 102. But when I was playing, it was a rare guy here and there out of the bullpen. Now it's throughout the league. I mean, starters sitting upper 90s, 100, and then you got to get in the bullpen and they're throwing even harder. So I say it all the time, tough time to be a hitter. But I mean, you kind of see it with the numbers too. I think somebody said the other day, the major league average for hitting right now is like 230, which is crazy. I mean,
there's 9 guys, I think, currently hitting above 300 in the entire league. That's it.
Wow.
Aaron Judge is one of them, which is crazy because he's a power hitter. But there's not that many guys, less than 10 guys in the entire Major League Baseball hitting above 300 right now.
Wow. Yeah. There's a lot of failure in baseball, man.
Like, yeah.
It is. So let's continue with another question to move forward. What would you both think was the biggest challenge you face in teaching fundamentals to players? Yeah, that's the main question.
Eric, you want to take that? Like, I think, like, even from your perspective, like like I said, he's got a couple young boys and players that are in his household, and how you go about developing them and what challenges you have, even, being a father coach to them.
yeah, for sure. No, it's been fun to kind of get involved with the youth, and it took a little time to understand like where I needed to go with training them, because like my knowledge is so deep, but I'm now working with youth, and you have to, all right, let's find a starting point basically. So I think understanding the simple fundamentals, like I love keeping everything super simple. Even just starting with your eyes, like hitting, see the ball, get strike zone recognition, have somewhat of a plan when you're going up to hit. Like, what pitch are we looking for when we're trying to hit? Because it's funny, especially at the youth and even high school, I'll go, hey, what are you thinking when you get up there? And they're like, hit a strike. I'm like, well, I mean, you think about it, that it's a big plate, a lot of different areas of the plate. Like, let's kind of dive into, hey, what pitch do you maybe like hitting? And then when we get that pitch, what are we going to do with it? So just kind of taking those thoughts to the next level where they're starting to think about it themselves, not necessarily me telling them what to do, but it's allowing them to use their own brain and making a plan to that. And that's one of the biggest things, especially at the younger ages. I want them learning the game and understanding the game. I think too much nowadays, you just see coaches screaming and telling these kids what to do. So the kids are taught now to just listen instead of think for themselves. Because that's how they learn the game. Like a good coach, like let the play happen. Like, let them think about it. Teach either before the play or after the play, not during the play. You want these kids out there learning the game and thinking the right way, and that's when they're going to have most fun doing it. Like, as a coach, when you can sit back and almost not say a word and they're doing it all, it's like, you've done a good job then. You've done a fantastic job. But I think too many nowadays are just kind of dictatorship where they want to yell, tell them what to do, listen, and they're not getting good responses out of the kids. So, that's my ultimate goal is to get them to understand what is going on and why, and allow them to, progress with that information themselves.
Yeah.
Also, Bruno, sorry.
No, continue.
Also, like Andy said in the beginning, we got a lot of technology right now in the game, but like even at a young age, I see my young guys that I coach be like, yeah, I have to hit the ball like this to get the launch angle, and I'm like, just focus on the fundamentals and start seeing the ball, hitting the ball. And I think if you have coaches that got the technology but don't understand it, that can be a big problem. So I think, like, what do you think about that whole technology with hit tracks and all that spin rate stuff?
I'll touch on it quick because it's a great point. Like, the technology is on a high right now. That's for sure. It's almost overused in a sense. And I think that is taking away from these teaching moments with these children because they're so focused on, hitting a ball and what was my exit velocity and how is it spinning? Whereas, hey, like, let's think about playing the game. Like, let's learn how to be a ball player before we're, working on our metrics on that side. So I think there's a time for the metrics at a younger age. Maybe you're, testing every couple months and you can see some progression and increase, but like, these kids need to understand the game and learn how to compete and know the different situations, because in the end, it doesn't matter how pretty your swing is in the cage and how hard you're hitting the ball in the cage. If you can't do it on the field, nobody cares.
Yeah. We need base hits on the field, man. That's it.
I had that with a kid that was throwing a bullpen, and we had the radar gun out, and he was like, "Yeah, I hit 72," and I'm like, "Well, it was 2 meters over the catcher, so it doesn't get. I don't care.
That's
Like,
right.
throw a strike, I don't care. Throw it 90."
Hey, to finish kind of like what I think Eric started to say too is like the first 3 letters in fundamentals is trying to keep it fun for these young guys, right? So anytime I like do any practices or development stuff with young players, there's some sort of game involved that makes it fun for them, but also teaches them the game. So we'll do line drive contests for hitting. We'll do a game called minor leagues, major leagues, that if you throw a strike in the minor leagues, it moves you up to the major leagues. And if you don't throw a strike there, you move back down to the minor leagues. So there's a game within the game to keep kids motivated. We time guys a lot. Like, so I teach them, we just did this the last 2 weekends doing a bunch of youth work, but we teach them what the tools are for baseball, what's important, especially arm care and arm action, and how to run and how to move and do all the things that a professional baseball player does, but do it healthy and do it in a fun way. And then the 6th tool is like our job with Eric and I and any of the coaches we have is just like we're trying to get and tap into their confidence, because they come from all different backgrounds, and we're trying to figure out how we can tap into how they can succeed and have fun and go through this very difficult sport and thrive, right? And not quit. Because like, I mean, I know even as a younger athlete, like, you can get burned out if you don't have good coaches, if you don't have good technique, if you're not playing a lot of games. There's all these different reasons, but it starts with the fun and the fundamentals. And like, that's, if you guys are coaching, if you're coaching youth right now, like, bless you, that's awesome. It's one of the toughest things to do. And 2, if you're keeping kids to come around and keep them coming back, you're probably going to schools, you're probably trying to figure out how to make it for your clubs to grow. It's like something you have to do to keep it fun, and they'll just keep coming back. So, and then the hit track stuff and all that stuff, we have to know it as a scout and in the professional world. But I agree, like, a lot of the old school stuff is still very relevant, like going on gut feelings and not the data. I think if you go back to the World Series and that conversation with what's the lefty now with the Dodgers that pitched, was a really good Cy Young guy anyway, but like they took him out based on the data, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they wound up losing, if you remember the COVID World Series, and it was Snell. Do you guys remember that Blake Snell game? And it started like, hey, like the data versus the gut feeling discussion and argument. It was like, hey, like he shouldn't have come out. Like he was dealing, but the data was like, he's coming out. So like those type of discussions, I think are happening more and more. So we can benefit from the data. Like it's always fun to see how hard and how far you can hit a ball and how fast you can throw it and like all the different things. There's 1,000 different metrics now, which is almost overload. Like it's still see ball, hit ball, run, and make other people mind blasted by what you're doing. You know what I mean? You knew I was coming back there, didn't you? You know what I'm saying? Like it's still this very simple way to do and attack this game. And it keeps with the technology, like they just keep getting more and more stuff thrown at us. But the best players and coaches and people in the world involved with this sport have a very simple way of making it as simple as possible so they can thrive. So
Mm-hmm. Okay,
yeah.
if there was like one lesson from your playing careers, you as what you could give as an advice to young players, what would it be like from you both guys?
What you got, Eric?
We
you're
can hear you
muted.
right now. We
You're
can hear
muted
you right
right
now.
now.
My apologies. My apologies.
All
All
right.
good.
Are you back?
All right.
That was a better two-hitter than a leadoff, he said.
Number one, you have to love the game, and you have to love working at the game. Obviously, it's a hard game, a game of failure, but you want to have the opportunity each and every day to have a chance to get better and work at it. I think baseball is such a cool game because there's so many different parts of the game, and I kind of go back to who I was as a player. And as I was growing up, I was never the biggest, the strongest, the fastest, could hit the ball the furthest. But I understood there were so many different parts of the game that I can work and get really good at all of those parts. And yes, maybe there's still a guy that can throw harder or hit the ball further or be faster, but he's not good in every single area. So
Mm-hmm.
that's where I took pride in really every aspect of that game, work hard to be good, maybe not fantastic like these other guys, but I was good in every area, and teams saw that in the long run. They saw, hey, that's an asset to somebody's team. That's going to help a player that's going to help this team win in the long run. And that's how you stick around this game is, having that knowledge of how you can help your team win and just, obviously always having that pursuit to get better on a daily basis.
Right. What about you, Andy? Thank you, Eric.
On a personal level, like I battled injuries so much, and like I go back when I was a kid and started throwing curveballs and pitching too much when I was 12 and 13. Like Eric said, trying to win a state championship in North Dakota, right? Which means absolutely nothing now. And then like having yourself battle through injuries your entire career because you didn't know what you were doing, didn't have coaches that could kind of know what we know now. And so it was a lot of injury for me, like to try to make it where I wanted to go as a player. And so like, if I'm going to give any advice, it's to parents and to players and coaches. It's like, have good coaching, understand what makes good arm action, understand how you can get hurt in this game at a young age. And that's the worst feeling you can have as a coach and a parent is like, my son just can't play. He's hurt. His growth plates aren't finishing. And that's what I battled like my whole life until I finally just had to hang it up way too soon. So the advice I give to all that is don't go through that. Like learn what it is that helps you stay healthy. Like Eric talks about his career and he like really was able to play a long period of time just by being healthy, being flexible, doing probably multiple sports when he was younger that helped his athleticism, not specializing in baseball all the time so that you're just throwing until like it literally is hurting your arm. And then like as a coach and as a developer now, like it's understanding like you're dealing with a really difficult sport and how to communicate that to parents, coaches, players of how to tackle it and understand they're going to have obstacles, you're going to have opportunities. And the obstacles could be injuries, obstacles could be emotions and stuff, and like how to make the opportunity out of what you have. Because baseball has been, if you ask Eric, like baseball has probably been the best thing to like shape how he looks at life, you know, and create a wonderful family and a career. And same for me. Like if you really embrace it, even the bad stuff that comes with baseball, like your life is going to turn out pretty darn well because it teaches you so much in terms of everything. You guys probably gone through that. You can become adults with some structure of baseball, discipline, communication, being a good teammate, how to handle failure, all that stuff. And so embrace that part instead of worrying about the umpires, worrying about a $500 bat to go by. You know what I'm saying? Like focus on what's more important and learn from the game and teach your kids and your players how special the game is in terms of life. That's what I would say.
Yeah, like you said, baseball's got some crazy chances for you. Like, if you would ask Bruno and me 10 years ago, hey, you guys want to do a baseball podcast? We both would be like, hey, what are you talking about? So, I got a next question that we always ask the guys on the podcast because there are some quote unquote mind blasting answers there. Um, if you had to choose one person that inspired you the most in your career, like Eric in the major leagues and Andy with you working all over the place, who would that be and why?
Well, maybe hit that.
So you go, man.
For me, it would be my college head coach, who happens to be now the manager of the first place Milwaukee Brewers. No, Pat Murphy was someone who, taught me a ton. And obviously during that college time, it's a time you're maturing as a person. And, I was a good player coming through high school, but I learned in college that I hadn't touched the iceberg of the knowledge of the game. So what I was able to learn there and from him, and what he did best was really bring out the best in each player, in each person. And he found ways to test you. And it's funny because a lot of his relationships with players are either kind of love or hate. Guys who can handle him mentally and understand that, wow, like he's bringing more out of me than I thought I had in me, that I understood. I love him. Like he is incredible. And then there's other players who can't handle him mentally and they just think he's being too tough and they just dislike the program all around. So, he's an incredible person. I mean, you see what he's doing with the Brewers right now and creating that family environment of guys playing together. I bet if you looked at the Brewers roster right now, you probably wouldn't even recognize half of the names. But baseball being a team game, he has them playing together against the best in the world, against the Yankees, the Red Sox, and the Dodgers, and they're beating everybody because they're playing together as a group and they believe in each other. And that's something that he kind of instilled in me, and throughout my career, I try and bring that with me everywhere I go.
Yeah, a functional team with good chemicals.
Chemistry.
Can I say it like chemistry?
Chemistry.
It's like magic, man. Then it's like magic. But Andy, please tell us your part.
It's kind of probably a combination. Like I'm really close with my family, like my father, my mother, my two brothers. And so like I think they were the inspiration for all the stuff that I've developed into. My father and my mother are both sports coaches growing up. And my two brothers got into sports. My older brother was a wrestling coach and he inspired me a lot following his athletic career. And then he got into coaching. It was a phenomenal coach. My father coached football and track and wrestling and stuff. So it started when I was a kid and kind of seeing, and I probably didn't know it at the time, how much they were impacting people, teenagers and people that they were able to mentor. And they were educators too. So like the part that I know when I talk to kids or talk to players or talk to anybody, like the background from my parents as educators, like is why I'm able to communicate the way that I am now. It comes strictly from that really good upbringing of my family. As well on the coaching side, player side of stuff, there was a mentor I met through MLB named Bill Holmberg. A long time ago, he was based in Italy. And so I started working with MLB. He was one of the first ones that really made an impact on me. He's got kind of a John Wayne aura to him. Like I was a little bit scared of the guy. Seemed like Eric said with Murphy, is like very intimidating. But once we started to work together and I started to get to understand him, and he was super special. Like all the Italian pitchers would develop into 90-mile-an-hour arms and not get hurt because Bill was really particular about that being his mission. And he wound up passing away in 2020. So like it's been like 5 years of saying, hey, a lot of the stuff I'm going to do in baseball, I'm going to always dedicate to him. And then through him, I met some of the best friends in the world in baseball, like Bjorn Johannes in Sweden, Martin Nijhoff in Holland. Like these guys were all part of this MLB circle. And then it led me to Mike Griffin and the coaches here in Pro 5 and led me to Eric Sogard and his brother. Like, so I always think about like holistically, where did all this come from? But started with my family. And then like, I've been blessed to have incredible coaches in my life. So all of that.
Great. So I would like to take that opportunity and give a shout out to Matze Winterrath. He was like my very first coach who developed my He's a baseball legend, but he's not involved in baseball anymore, I think.
Yeah.
He's getting a private life because he was like on the diamond like 7 days a week, 24 hours a day.
I never saw anybody throw more batting practice than Matze Winterrath. Never.
And the funny thing about it is, if you remember, he was always mixing Apfelschorle, like apple juice, with sparkling water, but afterwards, like first apple juice and then sparkling water, and he mixed it in the mouth.
This guy's right from your playbook, brother. He was awesome.
Taking a shirt off, and I will forever remember the phrase when he threw PA, hit and run on the curveball, take the first one. And I was like, yeah, you throw it in my ribs anyway, so it's all good.
He's a legend.
That was a guy.
Go on,
so,
Max,
please. Like you said, that you met a lot of guys through your careers and also through traveling to Europe. What are some coaches at the Pro 5 Baseball Academy that went to Europe? Because it sounds like what you're saying, that there are a couple guys there. So maybe all that European togetherness, just call it like that, is playing out in the US right now at that academy.
Within our academy, Eric's been to Czech Republic, Mike Rivers been to Czech Republic, I've been to Czech Republic. The other guys that have made it into the big leagues, like they wound up playing in Japan, Venezuela, Puerto Rico. Like, so we got like this evolution of a lot of guys. So within Pro 5, I think that's all we have within Europe is Mike, Eric, and myself. But we talk about our experience in the Czech Republic all the time. And we got Vojta Menchik, who's Eric's middle infield partner, and he's coming back to join us here this week. And he got signed by the Angels after he played at NC State. So he's one of those examples of a young player that got identified, developed, and then came over. He went to Pro 5 in North Carolina, and North Carolina State loved him. And he played in the College World Series a few years ago. So those are the main guys that came in and out of Europe. We still, like, again, like we want to get more connections to Germany. Like I got all that history in Europe, Germany, France, Czech, Spain, everywhere. So it's fun because when we bring in these international guys, like I think it helped the academy tremendously. Eric could probably attest to that. Like Sweden, Czech, Denmark, Japan, Canada. We want to have like 6 or 7 countries in the academy, and like they're just all chasing the same thing, but from different backgrounds. And it was awesome, man. It was fun to be a part of that.
Isn't there a guy from the Czech Republic that's playing in Japan right now for what team is he in?
Yeah. Tokyo Giants. Mark Kloop. Eric's played with Mark. Yeah.
Do you know that there once was a guy who played in Japan that came from Germany, who was the first guy who ever played semi-professional baseball in Japan from Germany? Yeah, it was that guy. It was me.
When are you doing autographs? Is there a chance to get any signed stuff for our academy?
We see us in the Netherlands, and if I'm not too drunk, we can get that done.
A signed tank top.
Oh, God damn it. I love it. So coming back to some serious stuff now. No, not serious, but more professional stuff. What do you think is Europe lacking of right now to get to the world top? Like, where should we as a German national team or European countries, what should we focus on to get into that next level?
Eric, you got that one?
Yeah, I mean, from what I've seen, the game is continuing to grow and the knowledge is getting there. I think the biggest difference I'm seeing is arm strength and velocity from pitchers. I think if European arms can get a little stronger and creating some more of that velocity, it's going to put them right on the map with the rest of the world. But I think that's the biggest thing, and the depth within pitching is that. I know that's the biggest issue we deal with our Czech team as well. But I think that's kind of the next thing that would help tremendously.
I'll say it like this: like every European country, because I did a ton of development over there, needs to try to figure out how they can get to a AAA level of baseball. And like by AAA, I mean athletes, arms, and attitudes, right? Like Eric touched on the arms. Like consistently in our academy in Pro 5, you're going to have guys throwing low 90s, upper 80s, low 90s at high school. And you just don't get that consistently in the Czech league, the German league, the French league. And so it suffers the game a little bit because you just up and down, up and down. And then you try to play in an international tournament and you got one guy that can do it and the rest of the guys are throwing 80. And so that one guy can sustain it and the rest of the guys get hammered. So, and then athletic wise too, it's like playing more games that are fast paced. I think sometimes like Eric will probably say that, like the difference between playing in Major League Ball and playing in the European Championship or the Czech League is just a ton of guys that are crazy athletic. Speed of the game is so fast. And so they need more athletes that can build that level up. And then the attitude is just based on number of games, high quality games, baseball IQ, all those things that makes like the attitude within the country so much stronger. Like Japan is killing it. And they have this developmental center where they're the best in the world. And they just go at such a faster pace and are so much professionalized. And so then below them is even the US and all these countries that are trying to chase them. But they have that at the youth level all the way up. They have the athletes, they have the arms, they have the attitude, and they don't want to be knocked off the number one perch in the world. So if I'm Czech Republic or Germany or France or Sweden or Spain or Holland, I look at it that way and say, hey, like, why can't we build something that gets us into the top 5, like Shanghai, and then land lower? So
yeah, I mean, in the top countries like Japan, in the US especially, they play baseball at school. You know, like they get like education where German players are dreaming of, and maybe that's one point where we can attack that thing, like getting it involved in the schools, maybe like stuff like this. I don't think, Max, do we have like a German college team, like a university team?
No, they're playing the regular seasons with the mans. Like most of them play fast pitch softball or something like that, but no professional team. Our first league team.
Okay.
We see it more as like all you guys said. You have to work 9 to 5 and then go try to catch up to the guys that do it for a living. That's a hard task. That's nearly I would say impossible to do. But we're still trying and dreaming about it. And like we said, the Czech Republic playing against Japan in the World Baseball Classics, and you see a guy that's I think a fireworker or something like that striking out Otani. That's just a story where I think to myself, dude, and you can come to work having your shoulders up. We gotta keep it PG. And being like the guy at work, like I struck out Shohei Ohtani. Who did you strike out? I don't know that guy. That's crazy.
So Eric and Andy, do you have any? I think to point out one player is pretty difficult, but maybe you have some player in mind, which development you followed or whereby, I don't know how to say it right now, but I think you understand me. I don't know if Andy, if you followed up Max Kepler's history or journey. Eric, maybe you have one player on your mind where you were saying like, wow, this was he has the right mindset. He was working hard as beep, and yeah.
Yeah, for me, I would say it was Dustin Pedroia, who was second baseman for the Red Sox back then. He also was a couple years ahead of me at Arizona State. So even growing up, I'd be able to go to those games and watch him. And being a little smaller in stature, but like the way he went about his game, like you said it, shoulders held high, or the other word. But the dude just got after it and wouldn't let anybody outwork him. Had the confidence through the roof, and it shows when you get out there and when you have that belief in yourself. Um, that's something that you gotta learn personally. Is that, hey, like when you get up there, you're able to do it. I think that's one thing I noticed when I first got to the big leagues. I was so enthralled with the players I was playing because I was so used to watching them on TV, and it was like, oh wow, that's Derek Jeter, that's Big Poppy, like, and then now I got to go hit in the game, and I'm like, oh wait, I'm one of these guys too. And it's like you almost have to. It takes a little while to get that belief in there and go out and now compete against them and beat them. But I always love watching Dustin Pedroia on the way he went about his business, and certainly helped me when that time came for me.
Okay.
Small
Thanks.
second basemen are just the best. I can just tell you. He's my favorite player as well.
Love it.
So I gotta say that. And for you, Andy?
Yeah, like Pedroia popped into my head even without Eric saying that because we use him as an example a lot. Like him and Jose Altuve and David Eckstein weren't the biggest guys, but like they just got after it and refused to not get to the big leagues. They didn't make excuses about their size. They wound up going based on a lot of their grit, their toughness, and their perseverance. Like there's a couple guys that I got to coach and be around. Gift Ngope that went to the big leagues from South Africa. Like he grew up in Randburg, Johannesburg, South Africa, and signed for very little with the Pittsburgh Pirates, and then made it to the big leagues from Africa. The first guy that ever did it, and he had all the tools and he had charisma, and he finally made it up to the big leagues with the Pittsburgh Pirates. Like, it was awesome. So, like, it was fun to be around for that journey. And now he's coaching with the Diamondbacks in the minor leagues. So it's the same thing. Like, if there's a will to do it, like there's gonna find a way to do it, or you're at least gonna get super close. And he just kept pushing and pushing and pushing, not making excuses. I remember watching him get his first league big league hit against John Lester against the Cubs. I was like, this is incredible what this guy just did. Because I saw where he grew up and I saw like what he didn't have, and he never said, "Oh, I didn't have this." He said, "I have this, and I'm going to run with this." It's very inspiring. Like those guys, the Pedroias, like Gifts, all these guys. Like I was amazed that and they're still signing. There's been a lot of guys signed out of Uganda as of late. So when we hear about their stories, there's a guy named David Matoma in the minor league system that's just incredible. His story's thrown over 100 already. So there's a good chance he could be one of the first Ugandan major leaguers. And if you see their background, you're like, they have nothing to, like, as far as what we have in gyms and equipment and coaching and stuff, but they don't make excuses,
Didn't the
opportunities.
Dodgers just sign a guy from Sudan?
They did. Exactly.
I saw a bullpen of him or some live at bats, and I
Yeah.
was like, "What the hell are you doing, man?" First of all, I could not even speak to him with a ladder because I'm too small.
Yeah.
But
It's huge.
like, what the hell? That guy's
Yeah.
tough. So coming right back to players, like you know a lot of players from Europe now. Who do you think is in the minor league systems right now that you say, hey, that guy's gonna be the next big leaguer? Like, who should we look out to and maybe buy some baseball cards because he's gonna be a major leaguer?
I mean, selfishly, I want it to be Yannick Walter and Paul Hoff, like from Germany. Like Paul's battling an injury right now, and he's in the Dominican. Yannick's in Carolina, and it's tough. If you guys interviewed those guys, he's like, this is super tough to try to go up level by level by level. So selfishly, because they signed with us and I was a part of that, I want those guys to go. But as an international guy, I know there's a couple pitchers from Italy. One made it. Samuel Aldegheri from Italy, a lefty, made it with the Angels, I think last year or 2 years ago. There's a guy named Urkalani. There's a guy named try to think of the other ones, but they're coming is what I'm getting at. Like they keep coming from either Italy or Germany or the France. There's a really good arm from France named Lacombe that's with the White Sox, and he's ranked in the top 30. There's a kid from Holland named Sam Robertsy that's on the doorstep of getting called up with the Cardinals. So all of those guys, which is great because they're pitchers, right? So they came from European backgrounds where pitching isn't a strength, and they might be big leaguers. So hopefully that inspires more out of.
Isn't there a guy who's from the Netherlands who throws from both sides?
I don't know. Sogard, did you ever face him? Did you hit home runs off that guy? I thought that was the story you told me yesterday at the. No, that wasn't.
I don't
what
think
you
I
were talking
faced
about.
him. No. Maybe soon.
I don't know, but like that. Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about. But there's just too many like special players in baseball where that's becoming like more normal. It's crazy.
Yeah. Coming back to the European baseball development, if you had the chance or be the CEO of, let's call it the CEO of European baseball, I mean, you have been to it. Eric, you're active in the Czech. Andy, you've been around Europe a couple of or a whole time. Are there any? It could be fictive, like a fictive story. But are there anything you would do like to implement in the European baseball system or in the DBV or in the Deutsche Baseball Liga or in the Czech Baseball League to make it grow and make it better?
Yeah, I mean, I think Max touched on a little bit too. It's getting those youth teams and school teams, and I think getting leagues where youth can play in, and it becomes the normal of that's what they're doing outside of school or after school. That becomes their activity along with the other sports. I think that's what's going to grow the game and the knowledge. And I think, yes, that's going to take some time, but it's going to impact those upper levels. It's going to impact the local leagues in each country, and just create that better competition. Or when those elite players do arise and scouts see them, and now they're going off to play professional and get that opportunity, they're going to be a lot better off. And I think that's going to just allow scouts to want to scout internationally more as well. So I think it's getting into the youth and somehow driving it into their culture.
All right.
I'll say this, like, I'm thinking because I spent 2 years in Sweden, like kind of as a sport director with the same ambition in that country. Like if I just pick one country that I spent 2 years specifically being a sport chief for development and trying to create enthusiasm and more players and coaches out of that country. Because we just don't have a very big number. So Eric's spot on. Like if you don't have a pipeline of players coming in consistently, like year in and year out, which means you got to have a lot of volunteer coaches and parents going to schools and recruit and do a lot of events, go around town and show them why baseball's special. I know you guys probably done that in Zolingen, where you put up cages and nets in the city center and like try to get people to understand what the game is. Like just being very proactive and then figuring out what sport in that country, like Sweden is huge in hockey and soccer and track and field, see what they do and then try to like blueprint what your development can be in your sport. You know, like a lot of the things that we did in Sweden were based on how to like putting a lot of really good coaches with the youth, because that's what hockey does, and trying to market the sport to make it even bigger looking than it truly was, to try to get more eyes on it. So there's different ways you can do it, but yeah, like it's tons of grassroots work. It's tons of multimedia work like you guys do. Like this is awesome to be on something like this because we want to spread our love of baseball, but like getting out there and doing podcasts and doing interviews and doing Instagram posts and all that is huge for small sports, branding your sport. So just stuff like that starts from a really good group of people with a plan to grow it from the grassroots up and then keep it consistent.
All right.
Just a short notice for everybody who's listening. This is the first podcast where Andy wrote us, like he was telling us that this podcast is pretty good. And he's like, hey, when is Sogard and my turn?
That was awesome, man.
Yeah,
I was like, what the hell is happening?
Without telling him.
Keep it going.
So like you said, there's a big, like all those coaches from the US or even players are coming over here and recognizing the European or international baseball. Like we got Eric playing for the Czech Republic. We had Hensley Mullins coaching the Netherlands team. We have Bruce Bochy who coached the French national team. Who do you think is, or like even if you know something, that would be fun as well. Who's gonna be the next guy that comes over and makes the game more public for and gets us more attention?
I don't.
Like, do you think Derek Jeter maybe has a German Shepherd or something?
Right. Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know an exact name of who might do it, but I think more and more players are looking into that, especially the way, the World Baseball Classic and these tournaments are. They see how exciting they are, so they're starting to do some research of their descent, of where their ancestors came from, and I think they love the game and they want to share when that time comes. So I think you got more and more guys that are kind of looking into that, and that in turn is going to help grow the game for sure.
Until then, it's Eric Sogard's throne to lose. Like, I think it's great that he's gone over there. I did some stuff with Eric Gagne with the French. He's got a big name in Major League Baseball. He did stuff with France, but Eric going over there and being a part of Czech is huge for the Czech Republic in Europe. So it's pretty cool that he's doing it.
Yeah, I think so.
Wish for one player. I would want Daniel Vogelbach to play for Germany. He's got the perfect German beer and schnitzel body.
Yeah.
He's my personal athletic role model, and he's got a German name, so maybe he's got some guys. And we need a first baseman, maybe.
I'll look into that for you. I got the opportunity to play with him a little bit in Milwaukee, so
nice.
That would be fun.
So DBL, if he's playing for us, the German Baseball Federation, that's on me. Wow. I want free tickets for life.
So I think that we always reached an hour of podcast. That's quite amazing, guys. Thanks for your time at that point. Just before we come to the rapid fire rounds, like short questions, short answers, I want to ask Andy one question. Did you ever wrestle?
I did.
Yeah?
I did.
Like,
I grew up, I wrestled from the time I was 5 till I was like 13. And was pretty good at it. Sogard doesn't mess with me. Let's just put it that way. He knows better. And then my brother went on to be like a 2-time state champion, and like I always regretted stopping because I was going to be a 5-time state champion if I ever kept going. That's what I tell him, at least.
Those are some fun family dinners. I would have been number 5. I would have been a 5-time champion.
We still get after it. We still throw each other around.
So
yeah, let's start off.
Let's start the rapid fire round. We need short answers, and the questions are gonna come. Are you ready?
Is there any music to this? Like, well, come on, you guys have been doing this podcast for a while. Where's the music to this? It should be like a game show.
It's all in the edit. It's all not. We're not that professional yet.
Okay, pop. Let's go.
Here we go.
That's mind blasting. So what's the favorite ballpark you've ever played or coached in?
Eric, you go. Like, you want to go first, and then I'll go after you.
Fenway Park for me. Grew up a Red Sox fan, and obviously the history that field has been through, it's kind of a no-brainer.
Yeah, I love Fenway too, and I love the field in Regensburg, Germany, and in Solingen. Like, I love that little atmosphere you guys got there.
All right. Toughest pitcher, Eric, you faced, or toughest hitter, Andy, you ever faced?
Toughest pitcher for me, I'd say, was Felix Hernandez back in his prime with Seattle. it was early on in my career too. So for some reason, a lot of the starters wanted days off that day, so I would always get to face them. I think the first couple of years, I probably had close to 30 at bats, so it got better along the way. But man, him in his prime with that two-seamer and changeup, he had everything working. Nasty.
Yeah, mine would have been like I played in Australia, and like there was guys like Scotty Mitchison in that league that played with the Phillies. There's some like really good arms like before the ABL got resurrected, and these guys were nasty. They were way faster than what I was used to growing up in North Dakota. I was toast.
So next question is gonna be best baseball movie ever.
Best baseball movie? I gotta go.
We never said it's easy.
Yeah, it's not easy. That's okay though. The Sandlot. The Sandlot for me.
Yeah.
Good.
I
think Major League won for me, man.
Special.
I still quote from that all the time. I love Major League.
And that's it. Yobu is always watching.
Yeah. Joe Boo. Loved it.
The most underrated skill in baseball.
The most underrated skill. I mean, as a hitter and position player, I'd probably lean toward strike zone recognition. Honestly, being able to determine what pitches are coming and where they're coming. I think that's going to give you the best opportunity to succeed.
Yeah, to parlay that, it's just vision, like seeing how fast like these guys can react to something thrown 100 miles an hour at them, or a ball hit at 115 at them and make plays. Guys that run down a play in the outfield, jump over the fence and catch it. Like these guys have 15, 20 vision. It's incredible what they can do with their vision and how quickly they can react cognitively.
Bruno, I'm gonna skip a couple of questions because we already got to that. So if you weren't in baseball, what would you be doing right now?
Well, I mean, I spent a couple of years away from baseball, and I have 5 kids at home with my beautiful wife, and started a little homestead. So I'm learning a little bit of the farming life actually. So it's been a fun adventure. Don't know a dang thing what we're doing, but we're figuring it out and having fun along the way.
Yeah, he had some cows out this morning, so like he was a little late for practice. True story. I would have get into like writing scripts for movies and TV. I love doing that kind of stuff. So I do it in Nashville. Like Nashville's a huge creative city with music and artists and writers. So like I want to still do that. I might like go out and do Eric Sogard's biography book and then try to make it into a movie. We'll see.
Oh, that would be great.
Yeah.
That would be great.
Words power. Yeah.
The best walk-up song of choice.
So I stuck with my walk-up song from high school to the majority of my career, and that was Guns N' Roses' "Welcome to the Jungle."
Nice.
It's a fun.
You a GNR fan? Did you ever see GNR in concert and see Axl Rose or no?
Never got to see him.
Wow, we gotta go, dude.
Yeah.
Let's go. I used to play. You guys into WWE? Triple H had this song called "Time to Play the Game." It was kind of like dark. I loved it. That always got me fired up. I grew up in a wrestling family, so I used to play that. It's a great song.
Bruno, you want to skip to the last question and then call it a day?
Yeah, just go for it.
So that's gonna be a tough one. Who of you two guys wins in a home run derby if we do it today?
Of us two?
Yeah.
He's mind blasted by the question, dude.
And that's it. They're in trouble now. They're gonna get in the fight
right now.
He's
got European championships. Right. He's got World Baseball Classic. Like he's literally in training mode. You know, I'm training to hit fungos, dude. Like I'm not gonna hit any fungos over. So it's unfortunately I have to give it up to him.
Thank you.
All right. So
I would say maybe it's a tie and we get it out in the wrestling ring.
I like it.
Maybe we have a 1-versus-1 at the baseball park Weiersbeck sometime between you guys. But
done.
So to wrap it up, Andy, Eric, for me personally, it was a pleasure talking to you. I mean, Andy, we know each other, as we mentioned before. Eric, I'm honored to have you on the podcast, a former Major League player. Yeah, thank you very, very much for your time, Andy, as well. Yeah, and I think the German and especially the European audience will have fun with this podcast episode. And maybe we will ask like English accident right now. We will ask the community to maybe make a wrap up episode with you guys, like a short one, if they have any questions or something. We will hit you up.
Maybe we do it live from Rotterdam this year.
Let's
when
do
the
it.
Czechs are playing against Sweden.
Let's go.
We just go right on the field. Everybody's in game mode, and I'm just.
You
Are
can
you
mic
ready
us
for some
up.
mind blasting questions?
No, mic us up. We'll tell you everything on the field, like all-star game style. So,
Hey Bruno, we could do that.
Yeah, we can.
hey, we appreciate you guys like reaching out too. It's awesome. Like you may not be still playing, but you're giving back to the game of baseball, and like you're doing a lot of really good stuff that keeps growing the game. So it's cool to see you guys still involved. So feeling donk for that, man. It's awesome to see you guys still involved.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you guys. This was a lot of fun. Looking forward to seeing you in Rotterdam.